Okay, yes. Okay, I see you, Ziting. Thank you for reporting in. Right, wonderful. Okay, I think we have full attendance. Wonderful. Great. Once again, welcome to all of you, and also to those of you who are not from 6A, that's fine. Just follow along. If you already have this booklet, please take a look at it. If not, just absorb some of the lessons that we are covering, all right? So today I'm looking at grammar, right? And specifically, we are supposed to fill up with the correct forms of the verbs in the brackets, okay? So these words in the brackets must be converted to their proper form, and we've already done it. I've already marked it. So I'm going to go through the clues that you need to have highlighted before arriving at the answer, okay? Let's see. Lucky, Timothy's pet and faithful friend, right? At the suspicious stranger, okay? So I'm telling something that has already happened, so it should be barked at the suspicious stranger, right? So this is in the past tense form, and it is referring to an event that has occurred in the past, okay? This one, okay. Luke and George, the popular bakers, ride, okay, through the town on a two-seater. So again, I am narrating a past event. So they rode through the town on the two-seater bike, okay? All right, welcome. Okay, I see you, Wayne. Thank you. Good to see you on the live chat. All right, join us, please. Okay, so the thing here is that I am talking about going through the town on a two-seater bike, and this event occurs in the past. All right, so in order for me to narrate these events, they must have already occurred, right? So they are stories, right, that have occurred in the past, which I am now reporting or talking about. So the event has happened and I'm referring to it, all right? Therefore, I convert to the past form. Now this particular verb form is actually an irregular verb, okay? Let me just highlight this. Rode belongs to a family of verbs called irregular verbs, as in they do not take the ed form for the past tense, right? So the past tense form of ride becomes rode, okay? Now, as a way of checking in, can you give me another example in the chat groups of an irregular verb other than ride and rode, right? So I repeat myself again, an irregular verb is a verb that does not take the ed form in its past tense form, right? Can you give me an example of an irregular verb other than ride? Very good. Ran, ate, sat, sang, swam, bought, very good. Buy, bought, ran, woke, very good, excellent. Swim and swam, teach and taught, very good. Buy and bought, exactly. Run and ran, very good, yes. Swim and swam, okay. Teach and taught. Sing and sung, very good. Sing, actually it's sang, right, Josiah? It's sing and sang, okay. Past tense form of sing is sang, okay. Ring, rang, very good. Throw through, very good, excellent. Okay, write, wrote, wonderful. Okay, I want everybody to try to participate, okay, because the whole point of this lesson is I'm slowing it down a little bit so that you guys can think of and come up with your own answers, and I want you to participate and add to the learning experience, okay? So good job to all of you who answered. Sleep, slept, wonderful. Okay, so all of these responses that you've just given are beautiful examples of irregular verbs, and English is full of them, right? Okay, thank you, Dea. I see your answer. The idea is that in English, it's pretty tricky because a lot of the words appear to not obey the rules of grammar. So in grammar, we generally think that when we add ed to a word, it becomes the past tense form. But there are all these examples you've just brought up, right? Fly and flew, very good. Get and got, wonderful. These are all examples that do not follow that rule of ed. That's why, you know, when you listen to your baby brother or your baby sister learning how to talk, very often they'll just tag ed to the end of the word in order to indicate that it's already happened, right? But you have to teach them that there are exceptions to the rule, okay? So English is tricky that way. and irregular verbs are one of the ways in which English is very tricky. Very good, well done. Love all your participation. Okay, now let's go on to question number 3. This word, I understand, is a little bit difficult, okay? And the word dawn is just a fancier way of saying war, okay? Right? So the meaning of dawn is war. And in this case, the word dawned does indeed follow the rule of adding an ed. And notice here that I double the consonant when I add an ed. When I add a, can you still remember the letters added to the end of a word? What are they called? Okay, there's a special term in English. There's a special term in English. Madhu, I'll answer your answer shortly. I'll answer your question shortly, okay? Don't worry about it. Yes, very good. It's a suffix, right? A suffix is an ed or an ly that I put at the end of the word that changes the form of the word, not the meaning of the word, right? In order to change the meaning, I need to add a prefix, right? Prefixes and suffixes are important because they add to and change the meaning of the word or the form of the word, okay? So don't worry about the differences in the question. I think by and large, they are pretty similar. So just work with my version, all right? Okay, wonderful. Suffixes, yes, suffix, suffix, suffix. Okay, and again, I just mentioned it. Everybody, what is the name of the letters that appear in front of a word that can change the word into its opposite meaning or change the meaning of the word entirely? What is it? Please type in the answer so I know that you are. Yes, yes, wonderful. Mm-hmm. 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 Yep. Very good. Wonderful. Okay. Okay, let me give you now a word, usual. Okay, the word usual. U-S-U-A-L. Usual. All right. How do I change the meaning of the word usual into its opposite meaning? What do I add? And what is the resulting word? Yes, very good. Yes. Yes, we add the prefix un to usual and we flip the meaning of the word from its positive to negative meaning, right? Usual becomes unusual. Very good. So that is an example. Very good, Dea. I see your answers. Thank you. That is the idea. You add a prefix to a word, it changes the meaning into its opposite form. Now add a suffix to unusual. Add a suffix to unusual. Right? There are very few suffixes that you can add to it. Try. Add a suffix to unusual. Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. Excellent. Thank you. There, I saw your answer too. Right. So you can see that the suffix, right? All of you got it. Oh dear, Jiaxuan, I think you auto-corrected, is it? It's not unusable, it's unusually, right? Yes. Unusually, yes, very good. I think most of you got the suffix, and I don't know whether you deliberately or you naturally doubled the L, right? So usually when, I just used the word usually, when you use a word and you add a suffix and the word ends with the L, you find that very often you double the L, right? You double the L. Likewise, when it ends with an N, you also double the N. You tend to double the N or the M. M, N, L, M, and N tend to double when they occur at the ends of words and you're adding a suffix to it. Okay, so that's a pattern to think about. Okay, so I'll just note it here. So when you see words that end with L, M, and N, not all the time, but sometimes they double. Okay, when you are adding a suffix. So just take a note of it on the side of your book if you haven't done so yet. All right, excellent. Yes, that's very interesting. Chloe makes this observation that American English doesn't double it. So American English has a tendency to simplify certain British English rules. But remember that as a former British colony and using the GCE kind of standards, we are following the British system of English. Okay, so let's move on. Thank you, Chloe, for pointing that out. Yes, so let's move on to question 4. And again, if my questions differ slightly from yours, don't worry. The important thing here is that you're able to follow along and highlight the clues. So the car is filled with the smell, right? So if it is a present form, it is, right? So I have to be consistent. The durian's smell is so strong. The smell is a singular thing that I'm referring to. So the subject is smell, the verb is. One puts S after the verb, subject-verb agreement, that the car is filled with it. All right. Next, question number 5. How to find his way home, and no tells me that this is in the present form. To be consistent, I will use the present form. Does the young boy know how to find his way home? However, in this particular sentence, there isn't enough context to narrow this question down to the present. So it could very well be, did the young boy know how to find his way home? So did he know how to find his way home? Does he know how to find his way home? Both work in this case. Why? Because there's nothing after this that tells me whether it is in the present or past that this question was asked. Okay? So along the way, if you don't understand anything of what I say, please stop me and ask the question. Let me maximize this so that you can see more clearly. All right, I hope this is slightly better. Okay. Right, let's move on. Question number 6. Either this dress or that blouse. And I'm highlighting that blouse. Okay. Can you still remember the subject-verb agreement rule for either or? Right, there is a special subject-verb agreement rule for either or. Okay, no worries, Sishan. I will, can you just circle that question and I'll change it when we get back, all right? I'm accepting both does and did, all right? So those of you whom I marked wrong, can you please just circle that question? Because I'm accepting does and did in this case, right? This will happen again. I'm allowing a few more questions, a few more answers to the questions below. So just go ahead and circle those questions and write down the notes as you follow along with me. Okay, but back to question number 6. Either this dress or that blouse. Remember, there's a special rule for subject-verb agreement rule when it comes to either or and neither nor. All right, it's something about the subject. Can anyone type out the answer so that everybody can see it in the chat group? Very good, right? So Joyce and John have hit the nail on the head. The nearest subject or the nearest noun or noun phrase to the verb agrees with it. So in this case, my verb is here, right? So my nearest subject is the blouse. So it's one, therefore it's singular. So either this dress or that blouse belongs to Brenda. All right? Either this dress or that blouse belongs to Brenda. Very good. Well done. All right? Next, let's move on. Honey, right? Best sweetener in the world. Okay? So it sounds like a statement of fact, doesn't it? I'm making a statement about something. All right? Therefore, if it is a statement of fact, what is the tense form that I should use whenever I encounter a statement of fact? Anybody very quickly write the answer in the YouTube chat group? Yes, okay. Not just in the present, Chloe, be even more precise. What present tense do I use? Okay, When I'm talking about facts, what kind of tense? Not just present. There are many different kinds of present tenses. There's present continuous, there's present perfect. Yes, that's right. It's simple present. Okay? Simple present tense, despite its name, is not used for present tense. It's used to denote facts and regular habits. Okay? So, honey is the best sweetener in the world. Yes, that's right. Simple present tense. Okay? Excellent. All right. Excellent. Let's move on. And over here, this is quite tricky. You and I. So how many subjects are there? There are two. Okay? So if you and I, both subjects combined, plural, have done our part. You and I have done our part. Okay, so subject, verb, agreement. Very simple for question 8. Question 9, back to the either or, neither nor rule that we mentioned earlier. Okay, the nearest subject agrees with the verb. Alright? So why don't you all go ahead and scribe down your answers. I'll wait for you in the chat. Very good. Okay, Daya, I'm glad that you're participating even though you're on WhatsApp, but do try to log on to YouTube if you can. Okay, I understand that some of you are experiencing a lag, but it's okay, just be patient. If you're not able to answer the questions, just take your time and follow along, okay? How many of you are experiencing, okay, very good. Her daughters, so many, right? This is many. And if this is many, the rule is that there is no S after the verb, right? No. Okay, Josiah is not knows because one puts S after the verb. Many should not have an S after the verb. Okay, so Josiah, be very careful there with your subject-verb agreement rule. Daughters is plural, therefore there should not be an S after the verb right here. Okay. Now here is another example of a sentence where the tense is not clear. There is no contextual clue to tell me whether this is in the past or the present. So actually, I will also accept new in the past. And I know I may have marked some of you wrong because you wrote new, but since there is no contextual clue here, it could very well be new, K-N-E-W. All right? So if I use new, then there is no subject-verb agreement rule applied here because whether it's singular or plural, the simple past form does not have an S after the verb. All right? Okay, thank you. Right, this live stream will end at 12 p.m. or slightly thereafter. You shouldn't need to worry about when it will end because this is part of our online learning. So you should be online all the way until it is over. All right? Okay, very good. Well done. Okay, I hope that all of you are not experiencing too bad a lag. Okay. Okay, let me see. Alright, let me move on now. Let's look at question number 10, Sapphire as well as Ruby, and I think this is a good revision because I'm only going to highlight, I'm only going to highlight Sapphire. Okay, let me just change that here. Sapphire. Oops. Oh dear, let me just something. Okay, yeah. Okay, Sapphire is the subject. Yes, that's right. Okay. Jaden. Jaden's answer, if you all will look in the chat, Jaden says, Mr. Pang, it says to get to the mall. Get, right? Get to the mall. So it should be present tense. Let's hold on for a bit on question 10. And you're right, you're right, it's A positive. Wonderful. ignore what's in the brackets. But let's go back to question 9. Jaden has a question. Mr. Pang, it says, get to the mall, okay, is present tense, so cannot be new. Jaden is wrong. Can anybody tell Jaden why he is wrong? Right? Get, present tense what? So cannot use new, right? Why is Jaden wrong? Yes, yes. Chun Hong, you got it. You got it. It's a to verb, right? So to verb doesn't carry a tense. It's always in the present plural form. So get is after to. So it doesn't carry the tense. Yes, 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 yes. So therefore, it could be neither the seamstress nor her daughters knew how to get to the mall, because to get doesn't tell me whether it's present or past. It's just a to verb, right? And know how to get to the mall also works. It could be the present or the past. That doesn't tell me. Unless I say neither the seamstress nor her daughters know how to get to the mall right now. Right now will tell me that it's happening now. Then it's present tense, okay? Yes, perfect. All right, you guys are very well trained. Huh? You all know to verb. Okay, Jaden, that's very well responded. Thanking everybody. That's great behavior. Thank you. This is very positive, and I like this when you guys are helping and supporting each other and explaining each other's answers. This is what we mean when we're talking about learning together. Okay, so wonderful. I'm very, very impressed and very inspired. Keep it up. All right. All right, no worries with that. Okay, let's go back to question 10. And I think some of you were answering earlier on. I think it was Chloe and Ziting were talking about A positives, right? So you're absolutely right, okay? And A positive occurs when there are two commas, all right? And information enclosed between them. This is known as an A positive. And A positives are not part of the subject. They add information to the subject, all right? In this case, the sapphire is the subject. Sorry about the untidiness. So there is only one subject, but the ruby is adding information to that subject. So sapphire is mined in this mountain, all right? Is mined in this mountain. And again, because there is no specific reference to when the mining occurs, it could very well be was mined in this mountain. All right, so yes, Shaden, you're right. You can use was because there is no specific time frame for this particular action of mining. Okay, so this sentence opens up the possibility of it being in the present or in the past. Okay, Jaden, I see your question on WhatsApp. I will answer you separately, but the short answer is no, it is still in the past or in the present. Both are open, okay? So it depends on when the action occurred, when they were finding their way. They could have been finding their way to the mall yesterday. They could be finding their way to the mall right now. It doesn't tell us in that question, okay? Let's move on, all right, for the interest of time, because I want to move us on to MC Test 5, and we still have a number of pages to do. The oil in the jar, okay, so oil is not a countable noun, okay, therefore is always in the singular, okay, has been used up, and this is uncountable singular. All right, whenever something is uncountable, it's always counted as a single unit. Okay, so hair is, oil is, water is, rice is, right? So things that are too numerous to count or cannot be counted are usually seen as a singular unit. Okay, uncountable singular. Please note down everything that you're seeing. Me note down. All right. Had is also possible. Yes, you are right, because again, there is no time frame for when this occurred. So had is also possible in this case. Yes, you are absolutely right. Jia Xuan, good, good. All right. Next, question 12. Question 12 is no longer so permissive because I'm making a statement of fact or opinion, a nice game to play. Okay, so if I'm making a statement of what I feel or is a factual statement for me, or an opinion statement for me, then I must always use the simple present tense, is. And billiards is. Do not be fooled by the S. This is one game, not many. All right? Yes, very good. Well done. Okay? And here, question 13, again, limits my answer, right? So it's happening now again. Therefore, the government being one unit, again, the government, right? One group of people, one government, has been thinking of increasing the fares again. Jared, I've already explained it. It's because billiards is a nice game to play, I am making a statement of fact or opinion, right? It still is, right? It will be, for me, always a game that's nice to play. I can't say was because there is no evidence here that I've changed my mind, all right? So it's just a statement of fact and opinion, right? Thank you, Jared. Okay, next, one of the boys, question 14, one of the boys going to Canada this June. So it's something in the future, right? And therefore, I cannot use the past form. One of the boys is, and one, right? So therefore, one of the boys is going to Canada this June. All right, very good, well done. Okay, again, each child needs to bring, all right? Again, subject-verb agreement, we all know this. Next one, none of what he said. All right, none, and this is zero, and in English, zero is singular, right? Therefore, is true or was true, because this could have happened in the past, right? There is no time marker here. Again, I don't know whether this occurred in the present or the past. Is and was are possible, okay? Okay, 14, will be. I would not accept that because I do not want to add a modal will, right? In this case, I'm supposed to change the verb in the bracket into its correct form. I don't add an additional modal verb to change it into the future form. So one of the boys, be, becomes is, right? So it's a correct verb form. It's not an add a modal exercise, okay? So no, I will not accept will be, even though it works, right? Grammatically, there's nothing wrong with saying one of the boys will be going, right? So no, I don't accept will be for question 14 because of the nature of the exercise, okay? Now, question 17, I think some of you got this wrong because you thought that it's a sum of money, right? $1,000 is not the same as thousands of dollars. So thousands of dollars is countable, all right? It's many thousands, all right? Please note this down. It's countable, it's many thousands. So if it's many thousands of dollars have been poured into the research organization, okay? Have been poured into the research organization. Question 17, all right? All right, let's move on. Okay, it looks like we may not have enough time to go into MC Test 5, but let's just try to finish up our corrections for death before dishonor, okay? So my family, okay, it's one unit, one family, all right? And then it's this December, so it's in the future, therefore I cannot use past tense, and I'm talking about one unit, so subject-verb agreement rule intends to go to Korea this December, right? That's question 18. Question 19, 21 days, all right? This is a period of time, right? One period, okay? This entire 21 days is one period of time. So is all you need to cultivate a habit, and this is a statement of fact. Therefore, simple present form is, okay? Question 20. Love is something. Again, because love is a single emotion and it is a statement of fact or opinion. All right. All right. Excellent. With your permission, I will move on to the next page. If everybody is done annotating up to question 20, please give me a thumbs up in the chat window so that I know that you are ready for me to move on to the next page. Thumbs up, please. Thank you all for being so attentive and participative. I'm loving the level of participation, and the comments that you're making in the chats are very relevant and very constructive. Right, very good. Well done. Excellent. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Awesome, guys. Good job. What a different variation of thumbs up you all have. Okay, let me move on now then. Okay, and this is kind of what I was warning you all about yesterday, right? It's about the dangers of online activity. Now that we are actually in the thick of home-based learning and everybody is working from home, you all need to be very careful, okay? Because a lot of people are online and there's more like nefarious or bad behaviors going on online. So take care of yourselves, right? Don't expose yourselves too much online, right? Follow all the guidelines I sent you, right? Okay, so this is about hacking and I think it's relevant. Okay, so I'm going to go through this super fast because I think it's something that's quite familiar to all of you, and we've done this kind of a close annotation quite a lot. I'll just use the red pen to save time, okay? Okay, hacking. Okay, I'm defining hacking, right? So hacking is, right? This is a definition, right? We were doing debate and we always talk about defining key terms, right? So I'm defining hacking is, I'm sorry, oh dear, I apologize. Okay, this is, I was thinking of another passage. No, this is means that an unauthorized person, right? And here I'm explaining what it means to hack, right? So an unauthorized person breaks into the computers of the office, and I don't accept the word hacks into because the word is hacking, and you can't use the same word to define itself. You can't say hacking is hacking, right? It doesn't work. So you've got to use a different word to explain the word hacking, okay? Yep, Jaden, I think I answered your question, all right? So you can't use the same word to explain itself, right? The chicken cannot eat the egg, right? So an unauthorized person breaks into the computers of the office using his own computer at home. Everyone, right? So everyone, right, knows, right? Why? Because everyone, right? One puts S after the verb, and everyone knows it's a fact. Okay, it's a commonly known fact that this is illegal, and if the hacker is caught, he will be charged in court, right? In the United States, all right, there are many people, and again, this is because there are many people who, right, take part in, which means participate, who participate in this activity, right? They participate in this activity. I don't expect join to be the answer because you participate in an activity, you don't join in the activity. You join someone, right, in the activity, but you participate in the activity. Many people engage. Yes, okay, I'll accept engage. Yes. Engage in this activity. Okay, and the word pranks limits the answer here, right? Because you play pranks. All right? Yes, I will accept engage. right? You play pranks, right? You can't do very much else about pranks, right? You play pranks. Okay. Removing certain information from government's computers so that users cannot find them. Some people commit more serious crimes, okay? The word is commit because of the word crimes here, right? They commit more serious crimes, like transferring money from other people's bank accounts into theirs. Alison, perform for question 6 or for question 7? Which question are you using perform for, Alison? If you want to give an alternative answer, please give the number of the question that you're giving the answer for. Question 6. No, you don't perform a prank, you play a prank. Actually, you can even pull a prank, okay? Right, I just checked, and pull is actually acceptable. You pull a prank, right? That's kind of acceptable. Okay, question 7. Yep, that's right, Kaylin, you can't perform a prank. Okay, question 8. There are a number of answers, but the simplest one is they have. Some of you put employ, some of you put hire. I've accepted a range of answers, okay? So those I've accepted are acceptable, all right? But if your answer is wrong, then check with me, okay? If your answer is marked correct, that means I've already accepted it, and I don't think we have time to go through every single variation. So only check online with me if your answer is marked wrong, but you think it is plausible or possible, okay? So many officers, right? And again, it's many officers have, right? Many officers, plural, have special hacker detection teams to catch hackers. When a team detects, all right, why do I use the word detects? Because of the word detection here, right? It's the simplest way to define it, okay? Yes, right? So detects a hacker. It will trace where the hacker's computer is located. Since the hacker usually works from home, right? I don't accept hacks from home, right? Nope. The team will inform the police, who will arrest or apprehend the hacker at his residence. Please don't use the word catch, right? Police and thief catching, those are not acceptable, all right? So be very careful about the kind of verbs that you use. You'll notice that there are many verbs in this closed passage because they're testing you on the forms of verbs, right? It's linked to the previous exercise, right? Forms of verbs. Yes. Jaden, did I mark you correct for red? No, yeah, you don't, because you don't raid the hacker, you raid a residence, you raid a house, you don't raid a person, right? It's the hacker here, right? So you don't raid the hacker. Yeah. Okay. Locate the hacker. No, you're not there to locate the hacker. You're there to arrest or apprehend. Justin, no. You don't come from home. He's working from home, right? He's not coming from home. Question 9. When a team no, a team doesn't sense a hacker. This is not like, paranormal powers of detection. No, they are actually running programs to detect or spot. Some of you wrote spot, right? That's acceptable, okay? So no, Charlene, I don't accept senses for question 9. Question 10. No, you don't act from home. You work from home, right? An act is one isolated thing that you do, all right? So no, not acceptable for acts. Okay, acts from home, no. Okay, lively debate. Can it be access? No. There, not access. Alright. Okay, seems like everybody is alright with the questions up to 10. Alright? Yeah, alright. Can I move on? Thumbs up again if I'm ready, if you're ready for me to move on to the next section. We are coming to a close. It's 11:45. Time flies. Thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, Charlene. I promise by today I'll release the results for the debate. I have to fetch the results from school and have to go back to school to get it, alright? So be patient. No, Jaden, I already spelled out today we are going to do those two things. I'm not going to do the class quiz today, okay? Okay, let's move on. Very good. Okay, I think this should be the last part. Yeah, okay, let's do this super fast. Okay, we have quite a lot of things to do actually. Okay, right, so there are no alternative answers for the next few sections. We are just going to correct and do it, all right? So this should be quite fast, okay? Okay, so over here, I'm using either the simple past tense or the past perfect tense, all right? So it should be one or the other. So remember, whenever I use the past perfect, I'm talking about two events that happen consecutively or concurrently, okay? Either they happen consecutively or concurrently. Right, so that's the kind of like the definition of when to use a past perfect tense rather than a simple past tense, all right? So there were no celebrations, therefore, although they had repelled, right, did not have any money because he had lost, right? The earthquake triggered, again, because there is only one event here, right? The earthquake triggered a series of tsunamis along the coast, right? Sending you the plot of the story because she had read the book before. Okay, let's stop here and let me just highlight all of the events that have occurred, either consecutively or concurrently, okay? So there were no celebrations, right? So this is my event. Did not have any money. This is my event. There are no events here. There's no secondary event here. Knew the plot of the story very well, okay? Knew the city of Taipei so well, okay? So because he had traveled. Sorry about the bad handwriting. Working with a rather clumsy tablet here. Okay, so remember I'm looking for essentially looking for two verbs, right? So knew and then had traveled, right? Knew and then had read, right? Here there's only one verb, okay? Did not, right? And then were no celebrations, okay? So whenever I see more than one verb in a complex sentence, I'm looking at usually two actions happening either consecutively or concurrently, okay? So same here, arrived at the cinema. The film had started, okay? And then told me that she had studied very hard before the examination, right? I saw him, because this is the only verb, all right? So over here, number 9, one of them is simple past tense and one of them is past perfect, and it's always in order, right? So which one is the first event? So discovering America, right? So this one is always in the past perfect form. After Columbus had discovered America, he returned to Spain. So the first event is always in the simple past. I'm sorry, let me just rephrase that. The second event is always in the simple past, and the first event is always in the past perfect. Okay, if you have an order of events, right, how do I know? Because whenever I see the word after, I know that this is the first event, right? After he had discovered America, so he discovered America first, he returned to Spain. So after he had discovered America, he returned to Spain, all right? So I hope everybody is following along. Let me just move on now. Okay, again here we were late because we had forgotten, and this is an irregular verb, right? It doesn't take the ed, had forgotten. By that time, everybody was exhausted because this is my only verb here, right? He was very sad because his pet had died. Okay, so first, second, there are two verbs here. So therefore, one of them is in the past perfect form. Okay, without any complaints, I'm going to move on. All right, please circle, underline, whatever I do. Okay, I can't believe that I had gotten the scholarship award. Okay, both work here. All right, I'll explain to you shortly. Yes, I know. Let me finish this section. Now, circle this because there are two possible answers here. Did not think, so I had submitted. There were okay, so the two of them are linked. Remember one of the questions earlier, one of them is in the simple present, the other is in the simple past, the other is in the past perfect. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. Yes, okay, yep. Just circle the question, thank you. All right. Like I said, I've permitted a few more answers and I'll explain them to you in a separate post. We are running a little short of time.